Endorphins, the brain's natural painkillers and stress buffers. When people hear the word endorphins, they usually think of exercise. They think of runner's highs. They think of feel-good chemicals. And they often assume endorphins are simply about pleasure. But endorphins are not primarily about happiness. Endorphins are about pain regulation, stress tolerance, and survival. They allow the brain and body to keep functioning during injury, exhaustion, and extreme challenge. To understand pain, resilience, and why humans can push far beyond normal limits, we need to understand endorphins. The history of endorphins begins in the 1970s. For decades, scientists knew that drugs like morphine and heroin reduced pain by acting on specific receptors in the brain. But this raised a powerful question. Why would the brain have receptors for plant-derived drugs? In 1975, researchers discovered the answer. The brain produces its own morphine-like substances. These naturally occurring opioids were named endorphins, short for endogenous morphine. This discovery transformed neuroscience and medicine. It showed that the brain has an internal pain control system built into its biology. So what are endorphins? Endorphins are neuropeptides that bind to opioid receptors in the brain and body. Their primary role is to reduce pain and dampen distress. Unlike fast neurotransmitters, such as glutamate or GABA, endorphins act more slowly and have longer-lasting effects. They do not transmit precise information. They change the overall state of the system. Endorphins help the organism endure. One of the most important functions of endorphins is pain modulation. When the body experiences injury, intense exertion, or stress, endorphins are released. They reduce the subjective experience of pain. This does not mean the injury disappears. It means the brain temporarily prioritizes survival and action over discomfort. This system evolved because pain avoidance is not always adaptive in emergencies. Endorphins are also involved in stress regulation. During extreme stress, endorphins blunt emotional distress and fear. They can produce a sense of numbness or calm during traumatic events. This response can be protective in the short term. However, repeated activation through chronic stress can alter emotional processing. This shows that endorphins are powerful, but not benign. Endorphins are often associated with pleasure, but this is a misunderstanding. Endorphins do not produce excitement or motivation. They reduce negative sensations. Any positive feeling associated with endorphins comes from relief, not reward. This is why endorphins are better described as painkillers than pleasure chemicals. Relief can feel good, but it is not the same as joy. Exercise is one of the most well-known triggers of endorphin release. During prolonged or intense physical activity, endorphins help reduce pain and fatigue. This allows continued movement even as muscles become stressed. The so-called runner's high is not pure happiness. It is a state of reduced pain perception and altered awareness. Other systems, including dopamine and endocannabinoids, also contribute to this experience. Endorphins also play a role in social bonding. Physical touch, laughter, and shared positive experiences can trigger endorphin release. This helps reinforce social connection by reducing stress and promoting feelings of safety. In this way, endorphins support group cohesion and emotional resilience. Here are 5 everyday examples of endorphins at work. First, when an injury initially hurts less than expected, endorphins are dampening pain signals. Second, when intense exercise feels manageable despite physical strain, endorphins are reducing discomfort. Third, when laughter leaves you feeling relaxed and relieved, endorphins are involved. Fourth, when emotional numbness occurs during extreme stress, endorphins are buffering distress. Fifth, When pain relief feels calming rather than exciting, endorphins are producing relief, not reward. There are several important facts about endorphins that are often misunderstood. Endorphins are not the same as dopamine. They do not drive motivation or goal pursuit. They act on opioid receptors, the same receptors targeted by powerful pain-killing drugs. Artificial opioids can hijack this system, leading to tolerance and dependence. Endorphins evolve to be released in specific contexts, not continuously. Chronic overstimulation of opioid systems disrupts natural pain regulation. Endorphins also interact closely with other neurotransmitters. They reduce pain so dopamine-driven behavior can continue. They dampen stress responses involving norepinephrine. They support GABA in calming neural activity. Endorphins do not act alone. They work as part of a coordinated survival system. So what is the big picture? Endorphins are not happiness chemicals. They are survival chemicals. They reduce pain, blunt distress, and allow the organism to endure extreme conditions. If dopamine drives pursuit, norepinephrine signals urgency, acetylcholine sharpens clarity, glutamate carries information, GABA provides braking, and serotonin stabilizes mood. Endorphins provide relief. They help the brain say, "You can keep going." Understanding endorphins helps explain pain tolerance, resilience, trauma responses, exercise effects, and why relief can feel powerful without being joyful.
If you enjoyed our channel, please click subscribe.